This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, David Muir.
Good morning, and it's great to be back with you after the holiday. We're coming on the air at this hour because President Biden is about to brief the country on the pandemic and this new variant, the Omicron variant. The World Health Organization has labeled it a variant of concern. Of course, we have seen this before. Omicron was first detected in southern Africa, confirmed cases now in at least 13 countries. You can see them there on the map, including Canada. The president meeting with his COVID team again at the White House this morning. President Biden ordering a travel ban for visitors coming from South Africa and 7 other African countries. Of course, Canada and the EU, also the UK, all taking the same action. Health officials say this variant has many concerning mutations. Of course, there are many questions surrounding all of this. How transmissible is it? Some signs that it could be more transmissible, but again, not definitive yet. This is still very early. The other question, how dangerous will this variant be? And will the current vaccines and the boosters now available for all adults 18 and older in this country, will the vaccines and the booster be strong enough to keep you from getting severe symptoms? We heard Dr. Fauci this morning on Good Morning America suggesting, I should say, that this will likely be the case. But again, it's still very early. Dr. Fauci suggesting it'll be about 2 weeks before we get those answers to the all-important questions. Dr. Jen Ashton is monitoring this with me. And Dr. Jen, again, that was encouraging to hear from Anthony Fauci this morning, that if you get the 2 vaccines and the booster, you should be in good shape, though it's early.
Yeah, exactly. And I think from what Dr. Fauci and other infectious disease and public health officials have been saying, we're in a much better place than we were at this time last year.
President Biden, the Vice President,
folks.
and Dr. Fauci.
Hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving, able to get together with your family and friends. And it was great to see so many families getting together this Thanksgiving after being apart last year. And we have much to be grateful for as a nation. When I was elected, I said I would always be honest with you. So today I want to take a few moments to talk about the new COVID variant, first identified last week in southern Africa. It's called the Omicron. It is, to their credit, the scientific community in South Africa quickly notified the world of the emergence of this new variant. This kind of transparency is to be encouraged and applauded because it increases our ability to respond quickly to any new threats. And that's exactly what we did. The very day the World Health Organization identified the new variant, I took immediate steps to restrict travel from countries in southern Africa. But while we have that travel restrictions can slow the speed of Omicron, it cannot prevent it. But here's what it does. It gives us time. It gives us time to take more actions, to move quicker, to make sure people understand you have to get your vaccine. You have to get the shot. You have to get the booster. Sooner or later, we're going to see cases of this new variant here in the United States. We'll have to face this new threat just as we faced those that come before it. Today, there are 3 messages about the new variant that I want the American people to hear. First, this variant is a cause for concern, not a cause for panic. We have the best vaccine in the world, the best medicines, the best scientists, and we're learning more every single day. And we'll fight this variant with scientific and knowledgeable actions and speed, not chaos and confusion. We have more tools today to fight the variant than we've ever had before, from vaccines to boosters to vaccines for children, 5 years and older, and much more. A year ago, America was floundering against the first variant of COVID. We beat that variant significantly, and then we got hit by a far more powerful threat, the Delta variant. But we took action, and now we're seeing deaths from Delta come down. We'll fight and look, we're going to fight and beat this new variant as well. We're learning more about this new variant every single day. And as we learn more, we're going to share that information with the American people candidly and promptly. Second, the best protection, I know you're tired of hearing me say this, the best protection against this new variant or any of the variants out there, but the ones we've been dealing with already, is getting fully vaccinated and getting a booster shot. Most Americans are fully vaccinated, but not yet boosted. If you're 18 years or over and got fully vaccinated before June the 1st, go get the booster shot today. They're free, and they're available at 80,000 locations coast to coast. A fully vaccinated booster person is the most protected against COVID. Do not wait. Go get your booster if it's time for you to do so. And if you are not vaccinated, now's the time to get vaccinated and take your children to be vaccinated. Every child aged 5 or older can get safe, effective vaccines now. While it will be a few weeks before we know everything we need to know about how strongly the existing vaccines protect against the new variant, Dr. Fauci is with me today, of our medical team, and believe that the vaccines will continue to provide a degree of protection against severe disease. And as additional protections, please wear your mask when you're indoors, in public settings, around other people. It protects you, it protects those around you. Third, in the event, hopefully unlikely, that updated vaccinations or boosters are needed to respond to this new variant, we will accelerate their development and deployment with every available tool. I want to reiterate, Dr. Fauci believes that the current vaccines provide at least some protection against the new variant, and the boosters strengthen that protection significantly. We do not yet believe that additional measures will be needed, but so that we are prepared if needed, my team is already working with officials at Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson & Johnson to develop contingency plans for vaccines or boosters if needed. And I will also direct the FDA and the CDC to use the fastest process available without cutting any corners for safety to get such vaccines approved and on the market if needed. And we'll do that the same way that any modifications are needed or current treatments need used to help those with who get ill with the COVID virus. Look, I'm sparing no effort and removing all roadblocks to keep the American people safe. All of this is confusing to a lot of people, but if it's confusing to you, let me close with this simple message. If you are vaccinated, but still worried about the new variant, get your booster. If you aren't vaccinated, get that shot. Go get that first shot. My team at the White House will provide me with daily updates this week. And on Thursday, I'll be putting forward a detailed strategy outlining how we're going to fight COVID this winter, not with shutdowns or lockdowns, but with more widespread vaccinations, boosters, testing, and more. I promised every American that there will always be the latest vaccines available and the booster shots available to them and for free and everywhere available. Every single American, free of charge, and I will keep that commitment. But we need to do more than vaccinate Americans. To beat the pandemic, we have to vaccinate the world as well, and America is leading that effort. We've shipped for free more vaccines to other countries than all other countries in the world combined. Over 275 million vaccines to 110 countries. Now we need the rest of the world to step up as well. Let me be clear. Not a single vaccine shot Americans ever send to the rest of the world will ever come at the expense of any American. I will always make sure that our people are protected first. But vaccinating the world is just one more tool in how we need to meet our moral obligation as Americans and how to best protect Americans as well. The Delta variants and now the Omicron variant all emerged elsewhere in the world. So we can't let up until the world is vaccinated. We're protecting Americans by doing that as well. As we continue this effort, let's remember where we stand. We're in a very different place as we enter the month of December, this month, compared to where we were last Christmas. Last Christmas, fewer than 1% of American adults were vaccinated. This Christmas, the number will be over 71%, including more than 86% of seniors. Last Christmas, our children were at risk without a vaccine. This Christmas, we have safe and effective vaccines for children ages 5 and older, with more than 19 million children and counting now vaccinated. Last year, a majority of schools were closed. This year, 99% of our schools are open. Let me reiterate once more. We also now have booster shots that provide extra protection. They're free and convenient. There is still time to get your first 2 shots or your booster shot or get your children vaccinated before Christmas. All 3 are available and can be done before Christmas. If you and your family are fully vaccinated, you can celebrate the holidays much more safely. And given where we were last year, that's a blessing that none of us should take for granted. We're throwing everything we can at this virus, tracking it from every angle. And that's what we have to keep doing. That's how we reopened our country. That's how we reopen our businesses. That's how we reopen our schools. That's how, even with the pandemic, we've generated a record job creation, a record economic growth in this country. We've moved forward in the face of COVID-19. We have moved forward in the face of the Delta variant. And we move forward now in the face of the Omicron variant as well. So thank you, and God bless our troops. And I hope you all have, I'll be speaking before them, but a Merry Christmas as we approach it. Questions?
Should Americans be worried, sir?
Let me call on Nancy at Bloomberg.
Thank you so much, President Biden. Do you think that other countries will be reluctant to report variants or other strains given the travel ban that you put so quickly on South Africa?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's what's going to happen. And I want to, again, the reason for the immediate travel ban is there were a significant number of cases, unlike any other country, well, there are few around South Africa in the world. We needed time to give people an opportunity to say, get that vaccination now before it heads. It's going to move around the world. I think it's almost inevitable there will be, at some point, that strain here in the United States. But I don't think anyone's going to be reluctant to report. We have also moved to do more. For example, we've provided more vaccines, as I said, than all other countries in the world combined. And we've provided significant vaccines as well to South Africa and that region. Matter of fact, South Africa doesn't need any more vaccine. They're having trouble getting it out into people's arms, and the reluctance is there. But no, I don't think it's going to have that effect.
Mr. President,
Let me call on Alexis. Alexis.
Alex? We've got 2 Alex.
Oh, Alex of Reuters.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. President. I wanted to ask if the U.S. is doing anything to screen international travels for this variant, and what is being done, if anything, internally to see if this variant has already arrived.
Well, there's a lot being done. I'm going to turn to Dr. Fauci to answer the last question about what's being done. Doc?
Thank you, Mr. President. We already have in place when people come into the United States, they have to be tested before they get on, and they have to show vaccination documentation. So even before Omicron came in, we have a situation where we'll be able to test. And talking about testing, fortunately for us, the PCRs that we mostly use would pick up this very unusual variant that has a real large constellation of mutations. Fortunately for us, that the PCRs that we do pick it up.
And we're following extremely closely the medical community, the COVID team, any developments as it relates to how severe it is, how quickly it mutates, how quickly it spreads, how dangerous it is, et cetera. We have more work to do in that area. And Wall Street Journal, Sabrina.
Thank you, Mr. President. The UK, Europe, and a growing number of countries have confirmed cases of Omicron. Are you considering additional travel restrictions on countries where the variant has been detected? And just separately, you urged Americans to wear masks in indoor public spaces, but many states and cities, including Washington, D.C., have lifted mask mandates. So are you calling on state and local officials to reinstate mask mandates?
With regard to the last question, the answer is I encourage everyone to wear a mask when they're indoors in a crowded circumstance like we are right now, and unless you're eating or speaking at a microphone. Secondly, the degree of the spread impacts on whether or not there's a need for any travel restriction. But that's not, I don't anticipate that at this point. And we'll see. We'll see where that works. And so the other Alex doesn't have a heart attack. I want to call on him. Is it
Mr. President,
Other Alex's.
two female
Alex.
Yeah, no, I'm not an Alex, but I'd love to ask one question, and then the other
We
Alex.
both ask questions?
Okay,
Yeah.
let me ask the other Alex and then you.
Sure. Mr. President, is this the new normal that Americans should expect, anticipating future potential variants? Should we expect intermittent travel restrictions and potential drops in the stock market going forward? Do you have any words of reassurance that this won't become the new normal? And then for both you and Dr. Fauci said earlier on CBS that lockdowns, shutdowns are off the table for restraining COVID going forward. You said that won't be part of your plan on Thursday. But why is that? Why are you taking that off the table?
Well, to answer your first question first, the answer is I expect this not to be the new normal. I expect the new normal to be everyone ends up getting vaccinated in the booster shot, so we reduce the number of people who aren't protected to such a low degree that we're not seeing the spread of these viruses. Now, we remain to be seen exactly what the elements of this particular strain are, but if they're, as I hope, then it's not going to be fundamentally different than in the past. In terms of, what was the second part of the question?
Are lockdowns off the table?
Yes, for now, yes.
Dr. Why is that?
Well, because we're able to, if people are vaccinated and wear their masks, there's no need for the lockdown.
So,
My last question.
Yes, going on from that question, we've got the Christmas period coming up, huge amount of travel. Would you give any thought to domestic flights requiring test or vaccine before people get on planes the same way as they do for international flights?
Well, at this point, that's not been recommended. I would wait for the scientific community to give me a recommendation on that.
Are travel restrictions too late to be effective, sir, given that Dr. Fauci says this new variant could already be here?
You understand the point of the travel of the restriction, to give us time to get people to get protection, to be vaccinated and get the booster. That's the reason for it. Thank you all so very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
There you have it, President Biden in the Roosevelt Room with Dr. Anthony Fauci, Vice President Kamala Harris also standing behind him there, talking about the Omicron variant, some differentiation in the pronunciation of this variant. We're going to go with the World Health Organization for now, Omicron. I've also got Dr. Jen here to the side, and she says go with Omicron for now, and perhaps we'll be hearing some change in the pronunciation from our own leaders here in this country or not, and then we'll change and follow suit as well. But let's get to the key points from the president there moments ago. He said sooner or later we will see it here. Of course, Dr. Fauci on the morning shows this morning, including Good Morning America, suggesting that it's likely here, hasn't been seen yet, but we will see it in the coming days. The president reiterating there for Americans to get both shots, the full vaccinations plus the booster. And of course, Dr. Fauci saying today that he does believe that those vaccinations and a booster will help you prevent getting severe symptoms of even this new variant, though he can't say that definitively yet. But given what we've seen in previous variants, he believes that will be the case again. And lastly, President Biden saying, and this was important, I'm sure, in the messaging from the White House, was to signal to the American people that if for some reason these vaccines that we have in our country already need to be updated, or if that booster needs to be updated, in the president's words, we will accelerate production immediately. Let's get right to our chief medical. Well, you have so many titles here, Dr. Jen, GMA3, Good Morning America, but I call you Dr. Jen.
Friend.
Let's get to you on what you heard from the president there. Certainly reassuring the American people, but also you and I were talking earlier. It's a pretty good bet it's already here.
Absolutely. I mean, when you hear that the virus has been detected in so many other countries, including in the UK, it should come as no surprise that it is likely already here in the United States, and people should expect that. Remember, viruses mutate for a living, so as long as there are unvaccinated populations in the world, which clearly in the continent of Africa, 6% vaccination rate right now, this should not be a surprise. The president alluded to that, the importance of vaccinating the world, not just our country. Again, as you mentioned, we heard the good news that major vaccine manufacturers like Moderna and Pfizer already at work. They're testing and developing so-called multivariant boosters. These are specific If they need to use them against this particular variant, there would be a 2 to 3 month lag time before that occurs. And then surveillance, tracking. We are only testing a fraction of our viral specimens here, single-digit percentages. You can't identify something until you know it's there. So we need to ramp up our genetic sequencing.
I was asking you about that before we came on the air because we're seeing it pop up, obviously, in other countries. Canada just to our north, and people here at home are going to say, are we doing the same kind of surveillance? I'm sure we could be doing more.
We can always be doing more. But again, when they take a smattering of viral specimens, they can tell us, just like we do with the flu, what is the predominant variant. Right now, it is still Delta. But again, it is only a matter of time until we see new variants come here. That is why the message is crystal clear from the president and from Dr. Fauci. Vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate.
And lastly, before I turn to Mary at the White House, I'd like to stay positive on all this. Americans have become fairly good at this, trained in this, that if they vaccinated, get the booster, and he said wear masks in public places, we ought to be able to get through this chapter.
We have learned so much, David, and we're in a much better place than we were a year ago. We're better at testing, we're better at surveillance, we're better at treating, and we're better at preventing, and we know how to behave. We might not want to behave that way, but we have the tools to fight this variant.
All right, Chief Medical Editor, by the way. I knew it would come.
Thank you.
Mary Bruce, our senior White House correspondent, and Mary, it was clear the president and the team there at the White House, they all know that they have to get the message out quickly, even if they don't have answers on this. Dr. Fauci is saying it could be a week or two before we have definitive data on any sort of early numbers, perhaps, and whether or not it's here in the U.S., but they still wanted to get out ahead of this.
Yeah, and that overarching message here, David, is do not panic. You heard the president, and we've heard Dr. Fauci stressing that despite the many unknowns still about this variant, that they're doing everything that they can. They're taking this seriously, putting in place those travel restrictions on several sub-Saharan African countries, and stressing over and over again, get fully vaccinated, get boosted, get that shot. The president saying if that happens, he hopes this isn't the new normal. But big picture, David, the president politically is trying to maintain a bit of a tricky balance here. This administration right now is making a big push to get the economy back on track. This new variant could potentially hinder that. It's why likely you heard the president saying this is cause for concern, not a cause for panic.
All right, Mary Bruce at the White House. Mary, welcome back from maternity leave, by the way. Diving right back into her reporting. Mary, thank you. Our coverage will continue all day. ABC News Live, abcnews.com. For many of you, it's your new news here in the East, and your local news comes your way later in the rest of the country. I'll be back with the entire team for World News Tonight. I'm David Muir in New York. We'll see you then.
This has been a special report from ABC News.